With the new Ducati Scramblers set to hit the market in the very near future, we thought it would be a good time to check out arguably the most unique scrambler in the current lineup. So let's head to the land of joy with the City Rebel. This is the Ducati Scrambler Urban Motard. It's time to go beyond the ride. So I want to start with the aesthetics first, right? So last year we did the Ducati Scrambler Night Shift, which is still my favorite looking scrambler. It's a little bit more classic, a little bit more mature, and a little bit more tame. This goes the complete opposite direction. This is younger, it's louder, and it does scream city hooliganism. So because it is an urban motard, it has the high front fender right there, similar to the Desert Sled. It has the side plates right here, which also can be found on the Night Shift and the Full Throttle. And it has still the overall aesthetic of the Ducati Scrambler icon. Now I do love the colorway. Any bike, no matter what it is, when you have red, white, and black, it will look good. Now the big graphic in the side, they kind of copied what I think graffiti would be, so street art, and it's because it's an urban motard, that's kind of the feel that they went with. It's hit or miss though. Some people love it, some people don't. Perhaps the thing that stands out the most, at least for me, are the wheels and tires. First of all, they're spoke, which I think go really, really well, but the size is what really screams motard to me. Because all the other scramblers out there, the Ducati scramblers out there to be more specific, they're size 18 front, or the sled I believe is a 19, but everything else is 18. These are 17s. And they're also wrapped with Diablo Rosso 3 tires on a scrambler. Okay. Now the reason why I say that is because those type of tires are usually found on bikes that are, well, sportier, right? This is supposed to be a chill bike. It's supposed to be something that's a little bit more tame, but the tires that are on these bikes don't belong on a tame bike. They're a little bit, well, more performance oriented. And the rest of the bike, well, it's pretty similar to any middleweight neo retro bikes out there. I mean, it's just pretty basic, and I like it. That's actually really kind of more my style of motorcycle anyway. The seat is nice and plush. There's a good space for a pillion. Of course, the rear foot pegs are there. And what I do like about this as well is that the grab rails for the pillion are tucked away underneath the seat. So at least they don't stick out like some of the other bikes out there. So it's nice and hidden. So the handlebar is nice, high and wide, so it gives you a little bit of a commanding stance when you're riding. The hydraulic clutch works really well. It's nice and soft. There is, however, a little bit too much play here for the throttle. However, luckily, Ducati can fix that for you if you buy the spacer, so that just lessen the play a little bit. Now the DRL, as you can see, is LED, but unfortunately, the headlight itself is just halogen. Hopefully in the next iteration of the Ducati Scramblers, they'd get everything LED. Now the dash is typical of all the other Scramblers out there. You don't get much, it's pretty much standard. And I do like the fuel gauge though, because you know, many Ducatis don't have fuel gauges, but this one does, so I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot. But it's pretty basic, right? All the other Ducati Scramblers out there have the same dash, and it gives you all the necessary information that you need while you're riding the bike. Now, there are no riding modes, or pretty much no riding aids actually, which is kind of pretty standard for a bike like this anyway, so I'm not mad at that. I mean, it's a nice, simple bike that's meant to just take you around the city or some back roads, or enjoy the twisties, coffee ride on a Sunday morning or the weekend. It's really not meant to be anything super special that you can race around the track with, although the tires tell you something differently. But it does give you a sense that it's something that's fun, right? Something that's fun to take around. It's not going to be a boring city bike. It has a little extra sauce that the Ducati Scramblers kind of are known for. But this one kind of takes it a little bit higher than the rest of the Scramblers. Powering the bike is the famous air-cooled L-twin, exactly like the other middleweight Scramblers out there. The displacement is 803 cc, horsepower is 73 at 8,250 RPM. Front suspension is an upside-down Kayaba 41mm fork, and the rear is also Kayaba, which is preload adjustable. The stopping power is provided by Brembo, 330mm disc at the front and 245mm disc at the rear. You do get cornering ABS, and that's really the only riding aid that you get with this bike. The fuel tank capacity is 13.5 liters, which is pretty standard for a bike like this. And Ducati claims that you can get 19 kilometers per liter. However, when I tested the bike out, I got closer to about 17. Still not too bad, but could be better. The dry weight is 180 kilograms, which makes it very manageable in city traffic. And the seat height is 805 millimeters. I'm 5'6", with a 764 millimeter inseam. And as you can see, easy. However, I'll say this. If you're in this position and you're stuck in heavy traffic, probably not the stance that I want to be in. Because, well, I'll explain a little bit later, you're kind of too close in this area to where you probably don't want to be too close to. Let's do a quick sound test, but I have to warn you that this is not the stock exhaust. This is actually an aftermarket exhaust, so it's going to sound, well, it's going to sound a lot better than it would when it's stock. But let's test it out. You know, the Euro 5 thing is really a problem sometimes, especially here in the Philippines when you don't need those regulations. Alright, so let's talk about the ergonomics. I do really love this position. It's nice and comfy, and the pegs are pretty much where I want them to be. Seat is comfortable, as I said earlier, and it's pretty much what you expect from a Scrambler that's not the older cafe racer or full throttle. So it's nice and relaxed. It is such an easy bike to use. I remember the first time I used a Ducati Scrambler back in the day. I won't say what year. But anyways, it was a couple of years ago. And it was the first time I used a bike over 150cc. And at first, I admit I was afraid to ride it because I had only been riding for less than a year. Now, when I got on the Icon, I was kind of shocked at how friendly and easy it was. Maybe in a way, it made me believe that I can ride bigger bikes. It was kind of my gateway into riding bigger motorcycles. And I guess that's what Ducati had in mind when they reintroduced the modern Scramblers back in 2015, to get people into riding with a fun lifestyle bike that was more approachable than the big speed demons back then. Now, I can feel the difference of the smaller wheel up front and of course the tires that this thing comes with. It makes the bike super flickable and agile. It's really perfect for city riding and some spirited riding when you get on some open space. And it's really enjoyable. I like it. I like it a lot. Now, it is kind of easy to filter, except that the side mirrors of the bike are kind of where the side mirrors of the cars are also located at. So you have to take that into consideration and proceed with caution. It's a nice, fun bike, and kind of little as well. I used to think that the sled was my favorite Scrambler, but since I've been using this for the past couple of days, I don't know. I mean, this is fun. And I wouldn't take this on trails or the places that I would take the sled, but for daily use and for just riding around the street, this is really, I think this is much more fun compared to the sled. Now, I know what many of you are wondering and probably are waiting for me to comment about. How hot does it get? Well, it's hot when you're not moving. And I'm not going to sugarcoat that. But is it too hot that it becomes really uncomfortable? Honestly, it's not that crazy. Just make sure that you filter carefully, because when you're moving, you don't really feel the heat. However, when you're on a standstill, like let's say you're in a traffic light and there's about over a minute to go in the timer on the traffic light, that's when you're going to start feeling the heat. And I've actually turned off the engine when I'm in that kind of a situation. But when you're moving, it's not a problem whatsoever. But yes, all bikes will get hot eventually, and the Scramblers have that history, that reputation of getting really hot. And this does get hot, but when you're moving, it's okay. So just remember, if you're in a traffic light situation, you have to stop for quite, a little bit longer, you can just turn off the engine and then start it back on when you have to get going again. I guess, that heat is the price to pay for an air-cooled bike. But believe it or not, it might be something I would overlook because of how fun this bike is to use. Because it's rare that you get an easy bike to ride that's this fun. I mean, you don't really get that too often. So this kind of is a nice package. It's easy to ride, it's approachable, you don't have to be an expert to ride this thing, and you can still push it and have fun with it. So I guess it's a nice trade-off, right? It's an easy bike that you can push and enjoy to the max. Now, any intermediate rider, in my opinion, or maybe even some beginner riders, will not have a problem with this bike. It's very forgiving. It's not something that's going to scare you out of your socks. Take it from me, it's how I actually kind of got started. And when I got on the Icon many, many years ago, I was really more of a beginner, not even intermediate. I was really more of a beginner. So I can safely say, if I can do it, I think anybody else can do it as well. If the traffic in the NCR wasn't so bad, I might, and I say might, just choose this as my daily ride. Now, at the price point of where this bike is, it's not for everyone. It's something that's, if you have, a whole lot of disposable income and you love the bike, then sure, get it. But at the price point that this thing comes at, there are other bikes out there that are similar to it that are significantly more affordable. And it's something that you should consider, but I'm going to talk about that a little bit more in the extra. So in conclusion, the Ducati Scramblers remain to be some of the best middleweight neo-retro bikes out there. And in my opinion, and it actually just changed after I started using this bike, the Urban Motard is the most fun Ducati Scrambler. And it can be yours for a price tag of 980,000 Philippine pesos after the price increase. For more information about this bike and other MCs out there, log on to www.motodeal.com.ph. This has been Gino Rufino. Hope you guys enjoyed going beyond the ride.